if you engage in disruptful, discourteous behavior, if you interrupt the decorum and do not show respect for the judicial proceedings, you would, of course, be subject to removal and forfeiting your right to be present in this courtroom. All right, I'd like to bring the jury out, Mr. Brooks. I am still going through the preliminary jury instructions. I know you filed some objections. Those have been noted for the record, as I advised earlier this morning. Because I've approved of them, there should be no objections. You had ample opportunity to do that. So I'm instructing you at this point not to object, because I will consider whether that's being done for disruption.
So a couple of interesting take-home messages here. The first one is Darrell Brooks Jr. dancing, kind of like going back and forth there. Kind of got his own like little shuffle thing going on. And the second thing is that after a while, I guess the cameraman gets tired of Darrell and seems to focus on the prosecution and, dare I say, on Miss Sue Opper. How's it going, everyone? This is Christian Duke. You're watching Sight Sounds Flavors on YouTube, sightsoundsflavors.com. If at any point in time during this video you like it, smash that like button. Be sure to subscribe, ring the bell for ding, 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 ring the bell for notifications, and please leave a comment down below. Comments are down there somewhere. So it's interesting because we see this, and it's similar to when Sue Opper calls Darrell a scared little chicken, when he is, instead of going side to side, he's going back and forth. And so I think that may be an example of Darrell not being able to contain himself. Now, here's a question for you all. One of many questions for you all, because this is an interactive type situation. Do you think that him going back and forth is him containing his anger? A. B, do you think it's his anger overwhelming him? C, do you think it's his anger overwhelming him and him not knowing what to say or what to do? Or D, is it just him dancing? Is he just busting a move in the courtroom? Now, I know that sounds funny, but we're dealing with an individual who showed no remorse, no empathy, who really honestly mocked the judicial system from beginning to end. So is it possible that he was just dancing? I guess. I don't know what he was doing. But I know that when Sue Opper called him a scared little chicken, I know that when he was going back and forth and cracking his knuckles, that was pure, unquestioned anger as far as I could see. Again, I don't know what's in his head. You don't know what's in his head. We can just sort of speculate about what we think. But the side to side, I don't know. Now, some people have also said that I've asked before making this video, because I do talk, it's funny, content creators, we talk to each other, and this is actually a point that has kind of stumped a lot of us. Some of us think, I'm not speaking for anyone but myself and the few people that I've spoken to, that it may be anxiety. And so we really haven't delved too far into that because we don't know if Darrell suffered. I mean, we know that Dawn said that he had anxiety. We know that Dawn said a lot of things, including, reciting A Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou, which probably not a good pick there by Dawn, but anxiety, I guess, could be a factor. Now, he had submitted his objections in writing, and he doesn't seem to interrupt the judge. So it seems that, maybe he was content with the fact that his objections were submitted and that they were received, because he didn't interrupt the judge while she was saying that. He also did not correct the judge when she called him Mr. Brooks or Darrell Brooks, because he would often say, I don't identify by that name, that's not my name, yada, yada, yada. So it seems to a certain extent that he's content with whatever's going on. However, the going back and forth, I don't understand. I also don't understand why the camera guy goes to the prosecution table and he didn't zoom in on Sue, but it to me, maybe I'm reading into it when I shouldn't be, but it seemed like he was focused on Sue. And that kind of speaks to what a lot of other people have mentioned, both, us content creators talking to each other, as well as in the comments. Some of you guys leave some amazing comments, so great that I will actually go out and make a video based on those comments. And that is that Sue kind of stole the show. I mean, Judge Darrell, yes, was a very, very good judge. I gave her a 97%. She did a great job. There were some points in time where, honestly, she put up with way too much, more than a lot of people felt comfortable with her putting up with. And some people even say that because she didn't kind of come down harder on Darrell, that might have affected her candidacy for the Wisconsin Supreme Court. I don't know that I would go that far. Perhaps you might down in the comments. But Sue was the face of sort of the law, the tough law, going after justice with Darrell, not putting up with anything, not saying this man is scaring me, not having to leave the courtroom, not ever flinching, never taking a backward step. Sue was, just bold, tough, just no fear, and just zealously prosecuting this guy. Zach Witchow too, and I always forget the third prosecutor's name. They did a great job as well, but just Sue, it was just relentless, absolutely relentless. And you could tell that Darrell hated her. He hated her, and he couldn't get one on her. He couldn't manipulate her. He was just, when it came to Sue Opper, he was just out of gas, SOL, game over, total knockout. It was like that. So I'm not surprised that the cameraman said, I'm not going to, film this guy, bobbing and weaving back and forth. I'm going to go to Sue Opper. I want to see what prosecution table's doing. I want to see what prosecution is saying, and then they went to the judge. But, in my opinion, the average everyday viewer of the trial as it happened, they wanted to see what Sue Opper was doing, what she was saying, and also, how she was speaking to the other prosecutors, to the investigator, to the paralegals, to the judge. I really honestly think, and again, I may be mistaken here. Please correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I honestly think that had Sue Opper run for the Wisconsin Supreme Court, that Sue would have won. That's not to say that Judge Darrell's not a great judge. It's not to say that she didn't do a great job presiding. I gave her a 97. People still think that I'm hating on the judge. How could I hate on a judge when I'm giving her a 97%? I mean, that's nonsensical. It's not 100. No, it's not a 99. And no, it's not a 98. It's a 97. But my goodness, that's an A. That's but she put up with way too much. She let this guy have a 50-minute rant, and it was just too much. It was just too much. How he questioned the witnesses, his demeanor, having to be taken out to other courtrooms. It was just too much. But again, interesting, curious what you guys think about the going back and forth. What was he doing? And curious why the cameraman focused on Sue Opper when she wasn't even talking. She didn't raise an objection. She didn't raise her hand. She didn't even stand up from the table. She had no idea probably that she was the focus of the attention. Now, maybe it was prosecution table, which is 3, not just one person. But I think that, I think Sue stole the show. I think people identify with Sue very early on, more so than the judge and more so than the other 2 prosecutors. I think it was a Sue Opper, Darrell Brooks show. And I think the jury also picked up on that. The thing is, Darrell was a complete train wreck of a pro se litigant, and Sue Opper was just nuts to bolt, perfect prosecutor, perfect courtroom demeanor. Just, every shot she took, it was all net. But in any event, guys, what do you guys think of the dancing? What do you guys think of the focus on prosecution, more specifically Sue Opper? I look forward to reading your comments. As always, please, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Sorry if I sprayed there a little bit. Say it, don't spray it, and leave a comment down below. Sight, Sounds, Flavors on YouTube. Thanks so much. And also be sure to check out Everything Else Channel on YouTube, everythingelsechannel.com.